Well, the underneath out-of-bounds pass was tipped by Pippen, and Jordan challenging Tim Hardaway, and Hardaway bailed out, didn't even try to commit any kind of foul, letting Jordan get the dunk. Tipped by Pippen, stolen by Harper, sending Jordan on the breakaway, and Hardaway had a notion, but pulled back at the last moment.
Harper, very aggressive, looking for the steal, was called for that foul. Leonard. Jordan not allowing the shot. Mashburn. Met by the double team. Excellent defense by the Bulls. Rodman had nowhere to go and drew the foul. Very fortunate because he caught it in a difficult position, but still was able to attempt the shot. And the foul committed by Mashburn. It is very rare that Michael Jordan will follow up a poor performance with another one. Take a look at this. A list of his so-called bad games, followed by 55, 47, and 44.
Well, Michael has been very open about saying how many times he has come up short throughout his career, but he says those failures have enabled him to succeed. But just scoring a lot of points is not enough, and Michael Jordan knows that. If that happens to be the kind of night he's going to have, it, so be it. But he's got to do all the other things on the basketball floor, not necessarily just scoring.
Bulls with a 6-0 lead. The Heat missing their first 4 shot attempts. And every shot appears to be a struggle, the way Chicago has opened up defensively.
And no surprise with this kind of defensive effort. The Bulls had a look at tape. This is the way they played in the third quarter in Game 4.
Scottie Pippen pulls it back. Bulls looking very sharp and confident here at the start. Jordan off the head fake. Michael Jordan gives the Bulls an 8-0 lead.
And it's not only the good defense of Chicago, Miami tight as a drum right now. And what a big factor was in Game 4 was that they made shots early, in particular Tim Hardaway and Alonzo Mourning. As a team, the Miami Heat 0 for 5 right now.
Foul was called on Longley, and then Pat Riley decides to take a 20. So 2.5 minutes gone by in this first quarter, and the Bulls with an 8-0 lead, and you can see the concern on the face of Pat Riley. Earlier we had talked with Pat about what the feeling was.
It's one of the worst weights in the world, and you know, we're still there. I mean we're here for Game 5. We're down 3-1, and we got our work cut out for us, but you got to stand up. You got a job to do. You got to come and do it. And if you play well, you don't know what can happen. It's amazing that he went 0 for 14. You don't know what can happen. You don't know what can happen tomorrow. You know, you don't know. I mean, maybe Rodman, you know, could create something to get half the team suspended. I don't know. You just got to stay in it. You know?
Impending doom, the words used by Pat Riley. Traveling violation, giving the ball back to the Bulls. They lead it 8-0. Jordan putting moves on again. And a good box out by Mourning. Nice look. P.J. Brown from Tim Hardaway. And Miami with its first field goal.
And that's what the Miami Heat have done all season long in transition. Tim Hardaway, one of the best in the league at looking up and hitting big men running the floor. You've got to keep your eye on Hardaway at all times.
Now Jordan. That time he forced it because he anticipated the foul being called. It was on Leonard, his first.
Well, as slow and as lethargic as Michael looked in the first half of Game 4, he is that much quicker. Everything Michael is doing so far, very crisp, very sharp, all of his move as he is so focused into this game.
Luke Longley said the other day, the great thing about a bad shooting day for Michael Jordan is he always has the next day. Michael reportedly played 46 holes of golf on Sunday prior to that fourth game on Monday. He did play 45 minutes, and the energy level, we talked about this during the game, seems to pick up in the second half, which is incredible because it looked like the legs were a problem, but he said no, he's just missing his shots. He was missing badly in the early going.
Well, most players that would go 2 for 22, first of all, they wouldn't get that many shots to begin with, would never get the chance to be in for the fourth quarter to come out of it.
And Joe Crawford with the foul call. It's a double foul. Scottie Pippen and Jamal Mashburn.
Well, it wasn't just Alonzo Mourning who was hitting people with elbows in game 4. Michael Jordan in particular took exception. He took a knot on the head from Jamal Mashburn, and everybody I think saw the one that Alonzo Mourning put on the head of Scottie Pippen.
Here's Leonard for 3. And on the back tap, handled by Pippen. Jordan going behind the back. Jordan extending off the tip. Michael Jordan with the tip-in. It's the Bulls 12, the Heat 2, and Jordan has 8 of the 12 Chicago points. Hardaway on a quick release. Brown is blocked by Longley, and it will be Chicago ball.
Well, the Chicago defense is doing this all to Miami, and the tentativeness of the Heat in their half-court offense is just lending that much more problem to their cause right now. Not getting enough ball movement. They have to establish Alonzo Mourning inside, and he can't mess around with the ball. He's got to look for a quick scoring opportunity. When doubled, give the ball up.
Michael Jordan looking on target right from the opening tip, and he's talking to Leonard. Timeout called by Miami. You see all the assistant coaches trying to get the players' heads back into it. They're looking tentative, as they did during game 3 in Miami.
And Michael Jordan staying after it after Dennis Rodman keeps it alive. And that's what Dennis Rodman can do for you. Get to the rebounds, get to the loose ball. Michael Jordan, so sharp, so quick, making Sean Leonard work extremely hard at the defensive end.
I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
Go where you want to go with all.
Good start for Michael Jordan, coming off the 9 of 35 shooting, 0 for 11 in the first half in game number 4. In fact, in checking the record books, Michael Jordan missing 26 shots equaled the most missed shots that he's ever suffered through in a single game. There you see it.
Doesn't bother him a bit.
No.
He's going to take the next shot. Oh, 2 seconds on the shot clock. Michael always a threat for a lob in the lane or popping out to the wing for the jumper.
And Kukoc throwing in, looking for Jordan. Couldn't find him. Had to loop it into Brian Williams. And Williams with the tip. Nice follow. Brian Williams has played so well since coming over, signing as a free agent following the injury that was suffered by Bill Wennington. P.J. Brown, he's been very quiet. Offer with the rebound. 2.5 to go in this first quarter. The Bulls in command, 24-10. At one stretch, they led 16-2. Oh, Jordan off a beautiful lead from Harper.
And the Bulls have taken advantage of the Heat's over-committing on defense from time to time with those backdoor plays. The Heat trying to be aggressive, but it gets them in trouble from time to time.
Miami shooting only 4 of 18. Well, Tim Hardaway improving that percentile. Hardaway with a three-pointer. He now has 9. And the Bulls lead 26-13. Kukoc. He had the mismatch with Hardaway. Isaac Austin, who's played well throughout the series, has come on for the first time. Hardaway fires. And Brian Williams with the box out on P.J. Brown. Kukoc running the floor, but has to pull it up.
Still shaky on his footing. Had an excellent opportunity last time with the post-up, but because his timing was way off, rushed the shot against the smaller Hardaway.
Now Kukoc got the step.
He's working his way into it, Marv. He's going to force it right now, and the Bulls will need it with Pippen in the locker room.
Hardaway foul.
Well, Michael Jordan about to pop out on the wing, and Bashan Leonard trying to not deny him the basketball. And this is a long backdoor alley-oop pass from Ron Harper, but Leonard makes the mistake by not keeping body contact with Michael Jordan to prevent that cut. But Ron Harper and Michael Jordan acknowledging each other on that nice play.
Ryan Williams called for the foul off the double team on Hardaway. 28-14 Chicago. NBA.com, the official website of the NBA, stepping up its game for this playoff run, now offering same-night video highlights in addition to post-game recaps, box scores, and up-to-the-minute stats for every player and team. NBA.com, your ultimate online resource for the NBA playoffs. 1:15 remaining in this first quarter. Alonzo Mourning sitting down, did not score, committed 3 turnovers. You see Tim Hardaway with 11 points, 11 of the Miami 15. Jordan, he had lots of room to operate.
And he made sure by really pounding into the floor and getting high in the air, he didn't have to get that high.
Brown shooting. P.J. Brown with his second field goal. The Bulls 30, the Heat 17.
Jason Caffey getting some minutes here. He's only played 16 minutes in the series. Didn't play at all in game 4.
Caffey getting the time with Pippen. Hurt at the moment. Three-pointer by Jordan. Scottie Pippen injuring his ankle earlier in this first quarter. Bulls now lead 33-17. Hardaway trying to pull away and was held by Harper. Harper committing his second.
Well, Michael Jordan keeps moving and moving within the offense, not getting on the pick and roll, but then cutting quickly across the lane and getting Hardaway on his back and going high in the air, and then stepping back on the nice screen from Jason Caffey to launch one from the perimeter. Now, a couple things for Miami. They have gotten a good start from Tim Hardaway as far as scoring is concerned. He now has 12 points. But the biggest fear I'm sure Pat Riley had coming into this game, and anytime you play here at the United Center, is getting behind early, and that's exactly what's happened. But it has been the Chicago Bulls' kind of habit all season long not to get off to particularly good starts, rather get off, feel the team out in the first half, and then try to turn it on third, fourth quarter.
But today, a very good start. 33-19 lead for the Bulls. Steve Kerr, who has seen limited activity in this series, has come on for Ron Harper. Michael Jordan. Got to run the clock down. And they turn it over. Final seconds. Not a pretty finish here at the end of this first quarter. But the Bulls with a 33-19 advantage, led by Jordan. 15-point first quarter for Michael Jordan. We'll be back with more of Game 5 of this best-of-7 Eastern Conference Final. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
The NBA on NBC. The 1997 NBA playoffs.
Early this evening, proud moments for Phil Jackson and his family. His twin sons, Ben and Charlie, graduated from Deerfield High School. Deerfield, a Chicago suburb, and it was nearly a conflict because graduation time was at 5 o'clock, but with the help of a helicopter, Phil was able to attend. And we talked about it earlier with Phil.
A lot of times we talk about things are important and they take some precedence. Well, this one happened to work out. It's 2.5 hours before the game time, so I was able to see 45 minutes of their graduation, which got me here in time.
So you won't fine yourself for being late?
Oh, I told the boys I'd pay the fine. They know I have to pay the fines too.
Yes, I don't think Phil will mind at all. Congratulations to the Jackson family. For more of that, let's check in with Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Marv. I spoke with Phil's wife, June, just before the game. She said she went over to the graduation. She saw her boys graduate, and she cried, and she hurried over here so she could change that tune and start celebrating. So she's here, and as it's going right now, she might have good reason to celebrate if it keeps going this way. Marv?
All right, the second quarter is underway, and Phil Jackson Chicago Bulls up 33-19. Better news yet for the Bulls. Scottie Pippen, bothered by the injured ankle, went out earlier in the first quarter, making his way back to the Chicago sideline.
And in that first quarter, we saw the best execution by the Chicago Bulls as Dennis Rodman. Shot clock winding down. Let's go with the three. And all that good execution in that first quarter resulted in outstanding shooting by the Bulls. 12 for 20 from the field.
And Dennis Rodman on the release knew it was on target. Rodman during the regular season hit only 5 3-pointers, 5 of 19. Here's Austin getting inside. Isaac Austin scoring for Miami. And with a minute gone by in the second, it's the Bulls up by 15.
And if you've noticed, it's still early in this game, but Dennis Rodman not getting involved in the extra physical stuff with the Miami Heat and not getting involved with the officials. He knows Joe Crawford, as the lead referee, will take no nonsense.
And there's also a fellow on the crew, Hugh Hollins, who has certainly had some ups and downs from the Chicago Bulls point of view. He's been involved in several scenarios. There's Rodman firing the three. And the other official, Don Vaden, Pat Riley, not accepting. A look at the Navy Pier area here in Chicago, and tonight's bird's eye views of the Windy City being provided by the Miller Eagle airplane. Miller Brewing using the Eagle as an exciting new way of providing fans with aerial views on sports television.
Well, it's been a tale of 2 first halves for Michael Jordan. This were Michael's shots in the first half of game 4, missing all 11. And then today, just the 1 3-pointer from outside. Most of the time, Michael trying to beat people off the dribble, which is what he did in the fourth quarter of game 4. It was so effective.
The Bulls lead 38-23. Brian Williams taking it to the basket. Very strong fashion. 4 points, 2 block shots for Brian Williams. And the Bulls lead by 17 with 3 minutes gone by in the second. Here's Marley. Kerr tried to back tap, but it's handled by Mashburn. Well, Mashburn, who had a good one in Miami on Monday, 7 of 12, 17 points, found the touch after struggling. Williams with room. Box out by Mourning.
Mourning starting to do a good job at the defensive end, especially on the boards, but he's got to get involved at the offensive end.
Mashburn for 3. Jamal Mashburn with 5 straight points, and the Bulls lead by 12. And that gets the crowd going. Like Jordan checked the ball, something slippery on it that he did not like. Here's Kukoc for 3.
Well, Tony Kukoc realizes he's coming out of the ball game right now. Bad matchup for him on Jamal Mashburn. Bushler will be replacing him.
Jordan checking the floor. He saw he had Kukoc running down the right side. Instead went the other way to Kerr. Jordan played by Mourning. Well, the Chicago Bulls have lost the touch here. As a result, the Heat within 12. Mashburn, nice move, and foul. So Jamal Mashburn will go to the line. Judd Bushler is checking in for the first time, as is Randy Brown. Scottie Pippen played 7 minutes, injured his ankle, went back to the locker room. He has not re-entered the game. Trying to get a report. Ahmad has been checking it out, but no official word on what is going on with Scottie Pippen.
And he's not in the game. He is the best defensive matchup for the Chicago Bulls against Jamal Mashburn. And I was wrong. It's Judd Bushler coming in to give Michael Jordan a breather, and Kukoc will stay on the floor as the primary ball handler for Chicago. And this could be very dangerous with neither Jordan or Pippen on the floor for the Bulls.
Bulls just won for the last 7. It's now a 10-point lead. Chicago is led by as many as 17 after that energized start. Randy Brown. Brian Williams rejected by Alonzo Mourning.
Well, Brian Williams has been very quick across the lane, usually from right to left. This time, Brian Williams going with his offhand and not in very strong fashion.
3 on the shot clock. Kukoc couldn't find anyone and then gambled with that pass, and it worked in favor of the Bulls. Randy Brown was hit by Tim Hardaway. That's the second committed by Hardaway. Right now, Phil Jackson has Michael Jordan sitting down. That is strictly for a rest. And Scottie Pippen has not been a contributor in this first half because of the ankle problem.
On Scottie Pippen, they're calling it a sprained left foot. They took x-rays. The x-rays are negative, but it's questionable whether or not he's going to return. He was out here trying to stretch it. He said there's a pain in the ball of his foot that he feels when he steps down on it, and he's gone back into the locker room now, I believe, to maybe try another tape job. He's been trying to get it ready to see if he's going to play, but they're saying it's questionable whether or not he will return, and I'll keep you posted. Marv?
All right, thanks, Ahmad. Been a couple of rough days physically for Scottie Pippen against the Miami Heat, but the bench has done the job. As you can see, Brian Williams has had a terrific series. 9 minutes today, 8 points, and Tony Kukoc contributing in his 11 minutes.
Brian Williams had a very strong second half in Game 4, playing with some foul problems as the Bulls made that furious comeback.
Bulls controlling the boards, and Longley with the tip. He has 7 points. Chicago up 48-33.
And Phil Jackson staying with the big front line of Longley and Brian Williams to try to counter Austin and Alonzo Mourning, and Miami doing nothing to get Alonzo Mourning the ball inside.
Austin is fouled. Alonzo Mourning has attempted only 1 shot, reminiscent of what took place in Game 3. Only 1 of 4 with the 9 turnovers. Alonzo has not been into this game.
And Luke Longley just nudging and pushing Alonzo Mourning too far underneath the basket to get up and rebound. Alonzo Mourning has to assert himself, in particular at this end.
Well, he just did and drew the foul. It's on Jordan. Brian Williams holding up his hand, looking to get the call on him, but it is Jordan with his second, and Mourning to the line for the first time.
Alonzo tried to get it going in the first half by taking the ball strong to the basket without fooling around with the basketball, and that's the way he started in Game 4, but good defense forced those 3 turnovers. These are the regular season numbers by Alonzo Mourning, an all-star center in the East this year. Numbers falling off in the playoffs as he has had foul problems, turnover problems, still helped this Miami Heat ball club to get to the conference finals.
Bulls by 14. They've led by as many as 17. Chicago has hit its last 4 shots. We approach 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Jordan tried to set it up on Marley, could not. Bushler shoots. And Mourning able to handle that rebound. Leonard lost the grip. And Hugh Hollins, the official trailing the play, looking for help on the call, and got it from Joe Crawford, last touched by the Bulls.
Both Phil Jackson and Pat Riley trying to keep their key players on the floor for a long period of times while still getting these short little rests, which they need. But you got to have Hardaway, got to have Mourning, got to have Jordan out on the floor.
And Mourning turned it over. Here's Jordan beating Mashburn, but not able to hit. Bushler is there. The Chicago bench has done the job in this first half. They now lead 50-34. Mourning couldn't handle the pass. Here's Brown with Bushler. He taps it back, and Randy Brown puts it down. How about the play of Judd Bushler in his 7th season out of Arizona? Valuable player off the bench. Despite the up and down playing time, his play is always consistent. And he's hearing it from the crowd. Miami calls for time.
Well, the Miami Heat not protecting the basketball. Good defense by Luke Longley, holding his ground, knocking the ball loose. Actually, Zoe blocked it loose from himself. And Judd Bushler not taking anything for granted, following up on the play. And then Randy Brown off to Bushler, right back to Randy Brown on the beautiful give and go.
4:20 remaining. First half, the Bulls with a commanding 18-point lead.
Me. Disrespect me. Tell me I'm older. Tell me I'm slower. Tell me I can no longer fly. I don't want you to.
An 18-point Chicago lead, and there's Alonzo Mourning, who you recall guaranteed a victory for Game 4 Monday in Miami, and the Heat did come through. There were no guarantees, though, for tonight. Look at that stat line. 1 shot, 1 point, 4 turnovers in 17 minutes for Alonzo Mourning.
Well, he said he was going to keep his mouth shut coming into this game, and he's keeping his game very quiet as well, trying to put the ball on the floor in the lane, and that is very deadly against a frisky Chicago defense.
But Tim Hardaway has continued his good play. Nice move by Leonard, batting it away from Jordan. And Michael and Brian Williams discussed the poor exchange, which led to the turnover. John Leonard for Jamal Mashburn. He shoots the 3 and hits. Jamal Mashburn has picked it up here in the second quarter. He now has 10, 52-39 Chicago.
And Miami picking up their pressure on defense all the way in the backcourt, trying to disrupt the rhythm of Chicago.
Williams got the step. Will it count? No. Foul for 4, the shot attempt, and that is number 4 on Mashburn. 4th foul on Jamal Mashburn. Well, a reminder, tomorrow must-see TV with a different look. The night beginning with Friends at 8 p.m. Eastern. Next up, Seinfeld and the gang at the special time at 8:30. And then Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 on the West Coast. The Jazz and the Rockets. And viewers on the West Coast will see Friends and Seinfeld after the game. That's must-see TV, NBA style, right here on NBC. How about Mashburn being on the floor with the 3 fouls? Pat Riley taking a chance. Mashburn had the hot hand.
Well, he's looking for any kind of offense he can get, and of course the 3-point shot so much a part of Miami's attack, and that's what Mashburn can give you. Pat Riley gambled and lost. Brian Williams doing an outstanding job off the bench for Chicago, and Michael Jordan struggling mightily in this 4th quarter. 0 for 4, no points, all 15 of them in the first quarter.
Tim Hardaway with 18 points. And the Bulls now lead 54-42. Miami is over the foul limit. B.J. Brown has returned for Jamal Mashburn. Well, Mourning battling for that rebound. And a foul before the shot attempt. It's against the Bulls. Foul on Jason Caffey. So Alonzo Mourning to the line. 1 of 2 at the line tonight. The Bulls have led by as many as 18. They've had the double-digit lead the entire game. They jumped in front 12-2 right at the start. Alonzo Mourning. Look at the descending numbers. 53% in the playoffs at the foul line. He's down to 64 at the line during the regular season.
But in game 4, he was 0 for 4 for just about the whole game. And then with a minute and 28 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, stepped to the line and knocked a couple down. I think the Miami Heat have to be they're not going to be happy right now being down, but they have to be somewhat satisfied in that they have not been blown out of this game with the way that the Chicago Bulls came out of the blocks, and as tentative as Miami was to be this close at this point in the game.
And it had all the looks of a coronation, just a matter of what the final score would be as Steve Kerr hits on his first field goal, but Miami able to come back. Michael Jordan, after the furious start, just 0 for 5 from the field in the second quarter. Hardaway. Tim Hardaway popping from all angles and from way downtown. Foul again against the Bulls. It's on Brian Williams. That is his third.
But another big area of concern for Pat Riley is the amount of points that Chicago has scored in this first half. 56 already throughout the series. Pat has been selling to his team that they can play with Chicago, that they can defend to Chicago, that they have held the Bulls to 84 points a game. But Chicago already with 56. Not a good sign.
And Mourning now 4 of 5 at the line. Here's the breakdown for the series. Have the 10 of 12 in game 3. Brian Williams, here's the applause as he departs. Luke Longley is back. How about Miami here? 11 of 12 at the line in this first half. Miami also a very resilient team. They are 5-0 in this year's playoffs when facing elimination. Goes back to game 5 against Orlando, and then of course the series against the Knicks when they came back from the 3-1 deficit and facing elimination the other day in Miami. Shot clock at 5. Jordan putting moves on Leonard. He is 0 for 6 in the second quarter. Caffey with the rebound though. And they get the new 24. Just under 2 minutes left in the half. Jordan fouled by Mourning.
Well, Sean Leonard has picked up his pressure defensively, not only in the backcourt, but battling Michael Jordan for that post position, trying to get around in front of him. Very difficult to do as Michael just sheds him, goes in, realizing he was going to get that contact from Alonzo Mourning, just took the hit and fired it up towards the basket as Michael's having trouble finding the basket, a la first half game 4.
Missed his last 6 from the field. He's now 2 of 3 at the line. Usually a superb foul shooter, 83% during the season. The Bulls with a 57-46 lead. Hoping to wrap up this series. Kukoc off the steal. While Miami wanting to set it back to a 6th game on Friday night. And yet a new 24 for Chicago. Here's Kerr for 3. Yes. To 46, Chicago. Hardaway putting moves on Kerr. Marley open for 3. And Mourning with the rebound. Here's Leonard for 3. And chipped home. Tough work under the boards by Miami.
And it's how they are staying in this game, getting second and third opportunities on the offensive glass, and that's how Alonzo Mourning, who's having a tough time getting any kind of shots off, that's where he can find them.
Oh, Caffey with the stop. P.J. Brown getting credit for that tip a moment ago with several hands going for the loose ball. Bulls now lead 62-48.
And what a lift from the Chicago Bull bench as Michael Jordan has gone cold in the second quarter.
Hardaway pops it out to Leonard. Marley. Miami firing away from three-point range. Looking to get back into this game with the three-point shot. Overall 6 of 19 in the first half from three-point land. Down to 15 seconds. remaining in the half. And Michael Jordan playing the clock. Now met by Mourning and fires. And he has lost the touch after the fast start. Final seconds of the half, and Hardaway was able to draw the foul, a blocking foul. It's on Kerr, so that's a quick 3 on Steve Kerr.
And Michael Jordan barking at Steve Kerr about that foul. Steve has had some problems with committing fouls at inopportune times. He committed a foul on a three-point attempt at the end of a quarter earlier in this playoff series. Steve realizes more than anybody else the mistake he made there.
Hardaway 5 of 5 at the line. Miami's done a nice job at the free throw line.
There are the team free throw shooting percentage for the Chicago Bulls way down in this particular series. Got to look for the long pass to Michael Jordan, top of the key.
All right, 2 and 9/10 seconds remaining. And broken up by Leonard, able to keep it away from Jordan. 1 and 8/10 seconds to go in this first half. And Judge Bushler checking back in, as is Ron Harper.
That 1.8 seconds may remind you of Scottie Pippen, who is unavailable to the Chicago Bulls right now with that bad left ankle.
Kukoc able to find Jordan. Yes! What a beautiful pass from Tony Kukoc. And that a basket that hurts. A final second shot to end the first half.
Well, as cold as Michael has been in this second quarter, still going to take that shot, fade away, nothing but net.
He had missed his previous 17. Jordan leads the way with 18 points. The bench has done a terrific job for Chicago. Tim Hardaway, high man for Miami with 20. Alonzo Mourning with just 5 points. Stay tuned for Hannah Storm and the Prudential halftime report. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
6 tomorrow night in Houston. Karl Malone had a big game last night in Salt Lake City. 29 points and 14 rebounds, and perhaps he also had some extra incentive. Jim Gray spoke with the league's reigning MVP.
I have an inner desire to win. I've never been to the championship before. I want to know what it feels like.
The series is tied 2-2, and you open up the Salt Lake Tribune morning newspaper. Hey, Karl, isn't it about time to deliver? Almost as though they're turning on you right in the middle of the series.
Without a doubt, you know, and it was an isolated incident, but it was one of our writers in a paper that I've been pretty loyal to. And sometimes people wonder why professional athletes go into a shell, you know, and don't talk to press and don't talk to the media. But what I want to do, I want to allow one guy to put a damper on the positive guys in the media that I've had association with. But, you know, do it hurt? Absolutely it do.
When you saw it, did your heart sink? Were you angry?
You know, my heart didn't sink. My first initial thought was I was upset, without a doubt. But you next, any of the guys that try to lay it on the line every night, and they see an article like that, especially at home, it pisses you off. But what am I going to do? Am I going to go grab this guy and shake him and give him the satisfaction?
Let me ask you, why do you even care? Why does it even make any bit of difference to you what anybody says at this point?
Because it's so many people think professional athletes are warriors when we go out and we don't have feelings and we don't have families and friends that read that kind of stuff. And, you know, I don't think that was just, that was a stab at my desire in my heart. And I have a big heart. That right there was a stab at that.
Drexler outside, Maloney, Johnson at the buzzer.
I looked at game 4, and if I would have made 2 or 3, you know, 2 or 3 layup was uncontested. If I could have made those, we win the game. And like I said, I'm a competitor. I want to win. And I was upset with myself. You know what? But you don't need to tell me that. I know, you know. But I don't always want good things in life. I don't learn by good things all the time. I have to have some negative things. That's how I was brought up as a little kid from Summerfield, Louisiana. You can't always succeed in life if you don't have failures. failures sometimes come at a bad time.
You've always been honest with us. And this is a tough question. But does this make you want to win this championship more for yourself and your teammates than to please the fans and to please the city?
For myself, I'll get the satisfaction myself. I want to do it more for my family, my teammates, and a true dedicated Jazz fan more than I do for myself. Because Karl Malone can handle a lot of things. I've been through a lot of things in my life. For the people that truly love me for me, they don't know how bad I want to win. You know, they don't know how bad I want to win for them.
It was a great victory, but one of my closest friends, he don't have long to live. The little boy that is right there, so it's tough.
When was the last time you cried?
Last year. Last year.
Danny Ewing?
Yeah.
When was the last time you cried over basketball?
I never in my life cried about basketball or a game or the way I played. Never in my life have I've cried about friends, loved ones. We win it, it'll be tears of joy.
And tomorrow night, Karl Malone will try to take the final step in his quest to get to the NBA Finals. Game 6 between the Jazz and the Rockets.
Ahmad Rashad back in Chicago. Now, Scottie Pippen hurt his foot early in the game. He's been sitting out. And moments ago, you can see Dr. Jeffrey Weinberg going over and asking Jerry Krause if Scottie Pippen could get in the game. Obviously, he said no, but Scottie started with Phil Jackson, and Phil Jackson said no, ask the doctor. Scottie asked the doctor had to go ask Jerry Krause, and obviously Jerry Krause said no, and Scottie is still sitting on the bench and still lobbying as he's now talking to Chip Schaefer. Back to you, Marv.
Thanks, Ahmad. Scottie Pippen played 7 minutes, injured his foot, has not seen any action since. The Bulls have received tremendous play off the bench in his absence. Deshaun Leonard trying the three. Randy Brown, one of those bench players, back on the floor, along with Judd Bushler. Michael Jordan posting up now, throwing the double team to set it up for Brown. And the Bulls get the new 24 with just under 4 minutes to go. In this third quarter, Chicago leads 73-59. Luke Longley, who's had a very strong game. And here's Judd Bushler. Tim Hardaway versus John Leonard in the backcourt. Isaac Austin, P.J. Brown, Dan Marley up front. Austin shooting. Austin has come on for the foul-plagued Mourning, who has 4. Miami has now missed its last 7 shots.
And on that last miss by Chicago, Pat Riley frustrated over on the Miami bench with his team for not taking that opportunity to get out and look for a transition basket, because in the half court, Rob, you're right, they just can't knock anything down. You got to go get some easy baskets, you got to get some layups, and you got to get second shot opportunities.
Leonard got a piece of that pass saved by Bushler. Jordan for 3. Good play by Rodman to get to that loose ball. And Longley showing confidence. But a foul is called against Miami. It's on Austin.
Well, it's been the tough defense of the Chicago Bulls that got them started off in this ballgame. Challenging shots, blocking shots, making it very difficult for Miami to run any kind of half-court offense.
Stand by for the official Powerball drawing for May 28, 1997. Hello, everybody. Mike Pace is my name, and this is America's biggest jackpot game tonight. An estimated $21 million grand prize, $100,000 winners, lots of them. You could be next, so stand by, watch your tickets closely, and let's find out what the numbers are. Here we go with the first ball, number 6. Number 6. Followed by number 39. 20.7 is that official estimate tonight on the grand prize. Number 10 is next. Number 10 followed by number 30. The Powerball still to come, and there is 34. 34. Now the Powerball next. Here's the big payoff. Good luck. The Powerball is number 19. Here they are, 6, 39, 10, 30, and 34. 19 the Powerball. Thanks for playing. Good night and good luck.
Very nice reception.
Now Miami going to try to spread the floor, get that high pick and roll for Tim Hardaway to see if they can create something.
Miami's now missed his last 8 shot attempts. And Marley puts it into that streak with the long-range 3. 8 points for Marley. Bulls 74 and the Heat 62. That was the 25th three-pointer attempted by Miami. They're 8 for 25. Kukoc. Tony Kukoc, who just came on for Michael Jordan, extending to a 76-62 lead. 8 points for Kukoc. Austin. The box out by Bushler. Randy Brown checking with Phil Jackson at the Bulls bench.
And Isaac Austin winding up on the perimeter for shot attempts. Jamal Mashburn not going to the board. Nobody for Miami getting to the offensive glass.
Shot clock at 6. Rodman posting up. And Austin, who handles the ball well for a big man, perhaps getting a little overconfident there. And turned it over.
Good being a relative term there. He did get all the way to the basket nicely enough, but just unable to finish any kind of playoff.
Well, both clubs having their problems offensively. Each with 12 points in this third quarter. And Rodman in the post-up mode, putting the moves on Mashburn.
It's strange to say. Dennis Rodman, the go-to guy right now for Chicago, with Jordan on the bench and Pippen injured.
Hardaway's pass broken up by Bushler, but he recovers. Hardaway now played by Kukoc. Hardaway able to slice his way through to set it up for Leonard for 3. For Sean Leonard, hammering the 3 from right in front of the Chicago bench. And the Bulls now lead by 11. Leonard only his second field goal. He has 5 points. Longley. Nice pass from Kukoc.
Exactly what the Chicago Bulls need from Tony Kukoc. He's got to create out there now by putting the ball on the floor, get into the teeth of the defense, look for a score himself or those kickouts to other players. But Tim Hardaway starting to get into the lane for Miami.
Here's Leonard for 3. Down to 5 seconds in the quarter. Kukoc for 3. And the tip and the buzzer. Randy Brown getting inside for the tip. 3 quarters complete here in Chicago. And the Bulls lead the Heat 80-65. Chicago hoping to wrap the series. Miami now forced with coming back from a 15-point deficit.
Ahmad Rashad back in Chicago now to put a closure on the Scottie Pippen situation. Scottie, competitive juices flowing, still lobbying everybody he can find to try to get in the game. I spoke with Jerry Krause, and Jerry Krause told me that it is too much of a chance to take a chance on Scottie's foot. He said they got a comfortable lead and they wouldn't take a chance like that. As a matter of fact, he said it didn't matter if it was Scottie or the 12th man on the team, that it's too dangerous to try to take a chance on somebody going out and re-injuring a foot. And there's Jerry reiterating the fact that no, he is not going in the game. So I think that is, I think we all know though what he said. He said no, so Scottie will have a good seat for the rest of the game. Mark?
All right, Ahmad, you saw Jerry Krause, general manager of the Bulls, talking with assistant coach Jim Stack. Passed the word on to the bench after Jim visited with Jerry in the stands. Keith Askins, who's come on for the first time, called for that foul as this fourth quarter gets underway. Chicago leading by as many as 18. Although Miami has put on a push, the lead never dipped under 10. Tim Hardaway, high man for Miami with 25. Alonzo Mourning 0 for 3 from the field, just 5 points. Michael Jordan has not shot well, got off early, but since then, this is begun to take on the look of what took place over the first 3 quarters in Game 4.
Well, not a pretty offensive third quarter for either team, but you have to give a lot of the credit to the defense there. Good pressure on the ball, challenging a lot of shots.
Mashburn, like Bushler, got a piece of it. Miami was 5 of 20 from the field in the third. And the Bulls 7 of 22, so 4 shooting all around. Brian Williams back on the floor. Kukoc with the save attempt. And was trying to call for a 20, and he did. Got the timeout call. It will be Chicago ball. Good play by Tony Kukoc.
Tony frustrated with himself for not capitalizing on some of these shooting opportunities so close to the basket.
A reminder, tomorrow, must-see TV with a different look. The evening starting off with Friends at 8 o'clock Eastern. Bad numbers on Alonzo Mourning. Look at this. The last 3 games had the outstanding performance in Game 4, but had that 1 of 4 and 9 turnovers in Game 3. And once again tonight, not able to do it. Not getting into it at all offensively.
Well, with Miami points, Dan Marley took a shot in the mouth. Oh, beautiful pass to Michael Jordan. Dan Marley got hit in the mouth from Judd Bushler and just stopped cold in his tracks.
The Bulls now have a 17-point lead. Hardaway looking to put on moves against Brown, who is a very fine defensive player. The call applauded by Brown, although I don't think that was his real feeling about it. But Randy Brown has called for his first. Beautiful pass, as you mentioned, and Michael Jordan, since the first quarter, is now 3 of 14 from the field.
Well, this is usually Tim Hardaway time for the Miami Heat, trailing by 17 points. Fourth quarter, Tim Hardaway likes to do it with the 3-point shot or penetration to the basket, and already the Miami Heat have taken a ton of 3-pointers. They're going to have to take more.
Dennis Rodman back, replacing Tony Kukoc. Kukoc with 8 points. Mashburn, foul, putting the move on Williams.
The Bulls, personal foul, Brian Williams.
Brian Williams with number 4. Sean Leonard over at the scorer's table, getting set to check back in. Mashburn with 11 points.
Jamal Mashburn, not particularly impressive numbers when you consider what kind of scorer he was a couple of years ago with the Dallas Mavericks, averaging 24 points a game. Had a nice Game 4, scoring 17 points. Got off to a good start in the first quarter here, but getting 4 personals in the first half really took him out of it.
So Leonard has come on to give Hardaway a rest. Mourning is back. 82-67, the Bulls with the big lead. Jordan being played now by Marley and directing traffic. Got the pick from Williams. Shot clock at 5. Jordan. Rodman with the rebound and a foul. For Dennis, it's number 11. And he was pushed by Austin. That's 3 on Austin. Timeout has been called with 9:55 to go in the fourth quarter. The Bulls 82, the Heat 67.
A classic moment of the NBA at 50.
Tonight we look back at last year's playoffs. The Bulls and the Heat. First round, it was all Bulls. 3-game sweep in total domination. Chicago took Game 1 by 17 points. That was the closest score. Game 2, a 31-point blowout. And Game 3, a 21-point Bulls win. In recognition of this classic moment, the Miller Brewing Company will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. Tim Hardaway continues to sit here at the start of the fourth quarter. Bulls with a 82-67 lead, hoping to wrap matters. They do not want to return to Miami on Friday, and then they would await the winner of the Houston-Utah series. While the Heat would need a miraculous turn here in the stretch in the fourth quarter to bring it to a Game 6 back at Miami Arena on Friday night. Jordan putting the move on Marley, going left this time, and rebounded by Austin. So Michael Jordan now 9 for 26.
And 9 for 35 in Game 4 after getting off to a good start in this one.
Pretty move by Mashburn. 14 for Mashburn, and the Bulls have a 13-point advantage.
Well, the triangle offense for Chicago, Michael Jordan not happy with it, so he just comes down, calls the spread floor to see if they can't get some driving lanes and some cutting, but the ball just stagnant, not getting enough player movement.
Shot clock at 5. Down to 3. And a foul. Check that 3-second violation call. So the ball back to the Heat.
Dennis Rodman on the weak side. He's a little confused by Dennis, always trying to anticipate that shot going up.
Mashburn. Oh, Mashburn, the last 2 games has been a factor. 17 in game 4, now has 16.
And Tony Kukoc just cannot keep Jamal Mashburn from going to the basket.
82-71, Chicago. Miami chipping away, and momentarily we will see Tim Hardaway make his return. Jordan trying to put moves on Marley and held. So the foul is called, number 3 on Dan Marley.
And a big break for Michael Jordan. The Bulls there. The shot clock showing 1 second left, and a little hand check by Marley bails the Bulls out.
Both teams with 2 team fouls. Michael Jordan extending to the 84-71 lead. Miami had scored 6 straight points. Here's Mashburn again. He beat Kukoc off the dribble and was hit on a reach-in.
Well, it's been Scottie Pippen who has the usual assignment of guarding Mashburn, although Jamal did get away from Pippen in the last game. But Mashburn just is too good with the basketball, has too much ability to get to the basket for Tony Kukoc to do anything about it. That'll get Tony a seat on the bench, Judd Bushler in to try to quiet Jamal Mashburn.
For Kukoc's first foul. Mashburn setting it up on the crossover. Bushler's done a nice job, though, and hearing it from the crowd. 3-second violation called on Miami.
Now, what a difference the good defense makes, as Bushler just would not let Mashburn beat him off the dribble, just bent his knees, stayed in front of him, and Isaac Austin, anticipating something happening, tried to cheat in the lane.
Well, the Bulls here in the early going of the 4th quarter have attempted 6 shots. Jordan with 5 on those 6 shots. Bushler with Williams and Rodman up front. Jordan. And Austin with the hustle and the save. Actually a dangerous save, but Miami comes away with the ball. Leonard for 3. And a loose ball foul on Marley.
Loose ball foul Miami. Dan Marley.
Oh, Michael Jordan very frustrated with his team right now as far as their offensive execution is concerned, trying to get people in the right spots as the offense is not coming very smoothly at all to Chicago in this second half.
Timeout is taken with 7.5 remaining. In the 4th quarter, the Bulls 84, the Heat 71.
NBC is brought to you by Microsoft Software. Where do you want to go today? By Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. And by Miller Genuine Draft, who reminds you it's time for a good old macro brew.
Well, during that timeout, Michael Jordan straightening out Brian Williams, letting him know that it was a play call out of the triangle and where he should be. On the 5th play, you have to come up and set a screen. Now, keep in mind, Brian Williams joined the Chicago Bulls with 9 games remaining in the regular season, and it is not the easiest offense in the world. Brian Williams feels like he knows a good deal about it, but certainly not as much as Michael Jordan.
7.5 remaining. In this 4th quarter, the Bulls with a 13-point lead with the ball. Marley was trying to draw an offensive foul. The Bulls with only 20 points thus far in the second half. The last 17 minutes is 20 points for Chicago. Here is Jordan. And again, the shots way off. This is what we saw the first 3 quarters in the previous game. And it appeared he was on his way to an explosive night. Morning foul by Jordan. Remember, Michael Jordan opened up looking very sharp, very crisp, hitting his shots. Look at the center matchup. Alonzo Mourning has been severely outplayed by Luke Longley.
Well, his game 4 was exceptional, coming off the prediction with the 18 points, 14 rebounds, and setting a very physical presence. And on this particular play right here, he took a physical hard shot and foul from Michael Jordan, who remembers all the banging and elbows from just a couple of days ago.
Foul on Jordan is 3rd. Mourning is now 6 of 7 at the line. Miami has had a superb night at the line, 19 of 20 overall. And Alonzo adds to that. Bulls 84 and the Heat 73. So Miami allowed to hang around, down by as many as 18, but still very much alive. Tim Hardaway is back defending on Ron Harper. Shot clock down to 3. Jordan, yes. The Bulls lead 86-73. 26 points for Jordan, who is now 11 of 30. And Mourning involved with Williams. Foul on Brian Williams. That is number 5.
Well, the other 4 players having trouble creating anything, and it always seems to be Michael Jordan winding up with the basketball with the shot clock winding down. As it appeared, he had something to say to Pat Riley on the other way back, and Pat Riley getting a kick out of whatever it was Michael Jordan said to him.
And you know that Pat Riley would not get involved in anything serious. There is some precedence to that earlier this year with several coaches getting involved with Michael. It did not pay off, but it looked like Michael might have just been dropping by to say hi.
Well, there's a tremendous amount of respect between these two. And Pat Riley, the coaching career that he has, you know, Michael Jordan respects him. Of course, his sentiments are with Phil Jackson, but he knows what Pat Riley has done, and Pat Riley has been nothing but complimentary to Michael Jordan throughout his career.
86-75, Chicago. Bulls have 3 timeouts remaining. The Heat with 4 left. Jordan to the crossover. Marley has done an excellent job. Pretty pass, though. Jordan setting it up for Hopper. Marley cut off the dribble. Jordan had nowhere to go.
And you get the feeling that's what Michael has been trying to get his teammates to do throughout this year. When he is caught with the ball and moving around with it, get some movement off the ball.
Hardaway. Well, that's a new one out of the repertoire, at least for this playoff series. 13-point Chicago lead. Just under 6 to go in the 4th. Jordan called for steps.
On the jump stop, Michael looking in astonishment at the referee, Hugh Hollins. Felt that he came to that jump stop. Looked like his feet did shuffle just a little bit, as this has been a bread and butter play for Michael. Coming to the quick stop, it looked like that right foot turned out to be the pin, but normally for a right-hand player, it would be the left foot, but Michael had that right one planted.
Mashburn with a wild shot. It counts, and the foul. So Mashburn heads to the line. The foul committed by Bushler.
Mashburn has been trying to just get to the basket and create something, whether fouls, whether shots, as Judd Bushler the last time did a good job. This time lost control of it.
It is now a 10-point Bulls lead. Mashburn with 9 of his 18 points in this 4th quarter. Chicago Bulls playing without Scottie Pippen with that injured foot. Played 7 minutes. That's it. Harper for 3. Yes. We might look back on that shot as one of the critical field goals for the Bulls.
In games 1 and 2, it was Ron Harper hitting the big 3-pointers with about 3 minutes to go in each game.
Mashburn and Harper on the rebound. Harper's hit 4 of 6 from the field. He has 9 points. We're just under 5 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Crowd has been very quiet here in the 4th. Not much to cheer for from the Chicago point of view. The offense has struggled, and Rodman and Mourning get involved once again, and then Dennis Rodman saving the moment by patting Alonzo Mourning, who did not appreciate the gesture.
Well, Dennis tries to control, but just doesn't seem to be able to control himself at times, as it looked like he was going to try one of those, just tie the man up, fighting for the loose ball, to grab, the hold, the push. Should have been a foul there on Dennis Rodman.
Now, Alonzo Mourning did not want any encouragement from Dennis Rodman. Tim Hardaway on that foul is third. He was not looking for the pat from Dennis,
because he knows it's not sincere.
Right. And Jordan to the free throw line with 3 of 4 at the line thus far.
Well, on a night when Scottie Pippen has an injury, unable to contribute in this game, just about everybody else that has played for the Chicago Bulls really making huge contributions to help out Michael Jordan, who is once again struggling with his shot.
And a timeout is called by the Heat. So the Bulls have the lead back up to 15. And this crowd looking ahead to another NBA Final Series. So, well, there's some support for how Michael Jordan spends his recreation time.
Charles Barkley trying to fan the fire, saying, well, how about Michael Jordan going out and playing all those holes of golf? And Charles would know how many Michael can play in that heat in South Florida and still go out and put up 35 shots. No other player would get the chance. Michael, 11 for 30, 5 for 20 ever since that first quarter.
15-point Chicago lead. Mashburn. And Hopper able to reach for the loose ball. We're down to 4:20 remaining in this fourth quarter.
And it has been complete domination on the backboards by Chicago despite their bad shooting. Ron Harper chipped in on the board. 7 offensive rebounds for Dennis Rodman, 20 for the Bulls.
Shot clock at 3. Rodman lost sight of the 24-second clock.
He did not have the right-hand baseline hook in the repertoire, because that's about the only shot he would have been able to get up.
Bulls, as you mentioned, with the edge off the boards, now 48 to 33. You see the breakdown. Dennis Rodman contributing 12 rebounds, 9 points, 4 assists. Hardaway very quiet in the second half. Hardaway, that's a 2-pointer, foot on the line. 20 of his 27 points came in the first half, and the Bulls now lead 93-80. All right, here is Bushler. Oh, Harper again off the board. Ron Harper has come up big in this fourth quarter. 11 points in all, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. Hardaway for 3, and the rebound handled by Rodman. As we come up on 3 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Bushler looking for the 3, but changed his mind, and Longley able to finish it off. Luke Longley with 14.
Well, he heard the wrath of Michael Jordan, I'm sure, after Game 4 for never getting involved early in the game. Nice bounce back one by Luke Longley to really overshadow and outplay Alonzo Mourning in Game 5.
All right, Rodman with his second reminder. Stay tuned after your local news. Most of these stations for the Tonight Show with Jay Leno. It's coming up after your local news right here on NBC. Jamal Mashburn, 5 of 5 at the free throw line. 19 points in all. We're down to 2:39 to go in this fourth quarter.
Still such a disappointment for the Miami Heat after winning Game 4 to try to get a little momentum going. Tim Hardaway getting a nice round of applause here from his hometown Chicago people, I think. Or I guess that was for Dennis Rodman, but Tim Hardaway, a lot of fans here, had a terrific season. But Alonzo Mourning, no field goals in this game.
And Dennis Rodman with 9 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and a wise move by Phil Jackson to sit him down. Does not want any additional trouble. Dennis had his customary technical foul called earlier. Foul was called on Jordan, involved with Mourning. And apparently double technicals on Jordan and Mourning. Joey Crawford calling it a verbal altercation, word passed on by way of the scorer's table.
Well, we talked about it early. Michael Jordan did not appreciate the way Alonzo Mourning was throwing his body and elbows around in Game 4. Here's Michael Jordan with a little fake at the back of the head to the Alonzo Mourning, and Joe Crawford right on top of it, calling the technical foul. And Michael Jordan not happy with Jamal Mashburn in Game 4 either.
Michael Jordan came into tonight saying that it's now personal off the loss in Miami the other day. He came out shooting well, the Bulls moving the ball extremely well, but he lost the touch from the second quarter on. Still, the Bulls getting terrific support off the bench, have been able to stay with the double-digit lead. They now lead 97-82 as we approach 2 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Mashburn putting the move on Jordan, setting it up for Mourning, who was stripped. It's an embarrassing game for Alonzo Mourning. 0 for 3 from the field. And Alonzo with 7 turnovers. They're on their feet cheering the Bulls, who are headed to the NBA Finals for the 5th time the last 7 years. Bushler on the loose ball. And particularly with the injury suffered by Scottie Pippen, you know, the Bulls delighted to get a couple of extra days off rather than have to play in Miami on Friday, as they will await the winner between the Utah Jazz and the Houston Rockets.
And I'm sure they will root for a 7-game series over in the West.
Harper, yes. Ron Harper, a major factor here tonight, with an outstanding performance in the fourth quarter. Harper with another rebound. We come up on 1 minute remaining in the fourth.
And then that last high pick by Alonzo Mourning, trying to clip Michael Jordan there, as Michael had to do everything to dodge it.
Harper with 9 of his 13 points here in the fourth. And the Bulls in no hurry. Harper is fouled, held by Mashburn. So the Bulls on the verge of making it to the finals. Once again, looking ahead to their possible opponent from the West, the Bulls. And the Jazz met twice this season. In November in Salt Lake City, Karl Malone with 36 points and delivered the then 12-0 Bulls their first loss of the season. 2 months later here in Chicago, Jordan and the Bulls avenged that defeat with a 13-point win. Bulls and Rockets also met twice, also split in January here in Chicago. Jordan with 32 and a 24-point Bulls blowout. But 8 days later, the Rockets soaring to a 16-point win behind Akeem Olajuwon's 32 points. So the Bulls await the winner out west in the 1997 NBA Finals right here on NBC. Ron Harper hitting 1 of 2 at the line, 100-82 Chicago. Here's John Crotty, who checked in just moments ago, rejected. Miami will retain possession. Luke Longley with his 5th block shot. As we mentioned, splits with both Utah and Houston by Chicago. Mashburn. That time he just did get it over Longley.
Well, despite the poor performance overall by the Heat in this Game 5, they can look back on this season as a very successful one with 61 wins. Be almost losing to Orlando, having to go to Game 5, taking advantage of the suspensions against the Knicks, and not really challenging the Bulls all that hard, but getting a face-saving win.
An excellent job by Pat Riley and his staff. That's a 24-second violation. But the season has come to an end for the Miami Heat. Chicago will do it in 5. We're down to 3 6/10 seconds to go. Deshaun Leonard able to toss it into Alonzo Mourning, and Mourning in the final seconds able to connect with his first field goal of the night. Up with the clock apparently. Question is the game over? Yes, it is. The clock actually did not start, and now the officials say, hey, that's it. And they just ran off the rest of the time. And right now, the question is the game over? Because there are still players remaining on the floor. They're trying to clear the floor. They might put some more time on. Yes, game is not officially over. They ran the time off the clock, and they have just put 2.5 seconds back on. So Alonzo Mourning apparently feels it is all over. He has departed after connecting on his first field goal, which was a 3, and that is now officially the end of the game. The Chicago Bulls defeat the Miami Heat 100-87. They win the series in 5. They advance to the NBA Finals. Let's go to Ahmad with Michael Jordan.
All right, thanks, Marv. Michael, one of the things that you talked about having lost down in Miami was that loss really brought this team together and got them back focused.
Not just the loss, but the way we lost in terms of, we got beat up pretty much. And, they came in and, beat us up pretty bad. So we were back in our own home court, and we wanted to make a stand. We didn't want to beat them up on the basketball court, yeah. But, not physical to where it ends up fighting.
A lot of people didn't really understand what you were talking about when you said this is personal. What did you mean?
I mean, in terms of our intensity as a game, we got to stand down defensively, offensively, do all the things, necessary things we needed to win. It wasn't to go out there and try to fight or throw elbows or whatever. We just weren't going to let them come in and push us around. No more knots on our heads, none of that stuff. We wanted to come out and play hard.
What about the finals? You have any thought about that, Utah or Houston?
Well, we got back to the finals, but it's not just to get back. Against Utah or Houston, either one of those teams, veteran ball club, they know how to play the game mentally as well as physically. So we have to get ourselves ready and healthy and get ready for a battle. And, we start here at home for 2 wins, and then we got to go out there for 2 wins.
Eastern Conference champion. Is it sort of anticlimactic, winning it?
Well, it's good to be Eastern Conference champions, but, to come up short doesn't really mean nothing. We want to get all the way to the ring and, make it 5. Go on from there.
All right, between me and you, how many holes you play yesterday?
A lot. I'm going to play them all. A lot.
Congratulations, man. Back to you, Marv.
All right, thanks, Ahmad. And for the Chicago Bulls, including the playoffs, win number 80 on the season. Again, Jordan did not shoot well, 11 for 31, but led the way with 28. Chicago headed back to the finals.